All right. Welcome, everyone, to our latest LinkedIn Live session. I'm Tony Quintus, Director of Creative and Brand at Zones. Today, we're discussing a crucial topic for small and medium-sized businesses, streamlining IT to drive efficiency and growth. If you have any questions during the session, our team's going to monitor the comments in the chat, and they'll relay those questions to us, and we'll try to address those as quickly as we can. So, SMBs face unique challenges, and that's why we're here today to simplify IT and help SMBs make smarter technology decisions. So who better to guide us through this than our guest, Dave Harmon, VP of Sales for SMB and Mid-Market at Zones. With over 30 years of experience helping businesses optimize their IT strategies, Dave is here to share valuable insight on how SMBs can cut through complexity and build a strong technology foundation. So Dave, tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, and welcome.
Hey, thanks, Tony. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it. Hey, Dave Harmon, Vice President of SMB and Mid-Market here at Zones. I've been with Zones 10 years. It's been a great journey. The whole time has been in the SMB mid-market space, driving that customer and fulfilling the needs that as we see. And we've grown a lot, and things have changed tremendous in that 10 years that I've been here. I've been in this business, like you said, 30 years. I've seen a lot, from the introduction of the internet all the way through the cloud, through everything that we have today. And I used to work for a very large enterprise company before I came to Zones. And their focus was very high level customers, large, Fortune 10, Fortune 100 companies. And we continue to have inquiries for the small to medium business. And it was just kind of, no, we don't want that business. It was a little bit of ignored. And that's what intrigued me to come to Zones, because that's a huge opportunity. And that customer base needs a fulfillment partner. It needs a partner. And that's what landed me here. And that's what I get up for every single day, is to help the SMB mid-market customer to the digital age, and continue to provide them with the same type of services, same type of equipment, same type of technology that the Fortune 500, Fortune 10 companies use as we continue to grow.
No, that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that background with us, Dave. And I know 30 years experience. I mean, that's a long time in the industry. I know you've been with Zones with us for about 10 years now, and you have a strong understanding of the Zones business and how we support our customers. So as the VP of Sales at Zones, you meet with a lot of these businesses, the small to medium sized businesses. You hear their challenges, you hear their needs. What would you say are some of these clients' top challenges, and how does your team kind of help solve those for them?
Well, the number one challenge is they have so many different partners they're working with, or vendors that they're working with, and our customers, we find out, are calling this company for their hardware, this company for their software, and then now they have a security issue. They have to call another company. We have to have a software migration or networking issues. They're all different companies are calling. At Zones, that's one phone call to your account executive. We have account executives that will handle that. We have different resources that account executive will take care of. But the number one thing that we're finding is too many cooks in the kitchen, per se. They have too many people they're going to, and they don't know who to trust or who to. It's always pointing this way. The hardware guy says it's a software issue. The software guy says it's a hardware issue. The networking person says it's your cloud provider. The cloud provider says your internet's not. And you know what? With one team and one company handling that, Zones, there's no pointing the fingers. There's one person to go to, and that's us. And that's the number one focus and the number one problem that we're seeing in the SMB business is just consolidation of partners, consolidation of vendors. And we want to be that partner, and we want to tell that customer and show that customer how we can be that one partner that they can do that with, and just one One phone call can take care of all that for you. We have an account executive that will take care of everything for you and get the resources that we need.
Yeah.
That's the number one problem that we're seeing today is
No,
vendor consolidation, partner
no,
consolidation.
that's awesome. So what would what do most clients reach out to you for initially? So how does that first contact normally outside of the consolidation challenges?
Two ways. The majority of our customers reach out to us for core product, workplace product. We call it core. Um, Desktops, laptops, monitors, printers, just hardware. Looking at us for hardware, peripherals, store in a box. But customers look at us for that. That's how we get our initial. Most of the time, we get the initial customer um, interaction, or they're looking for software, a CSP, looking for a software, looking for a Microsoft partner. Those are the two the majority of our customers, what we call how we acquire customers, are those two reasons. Customers looking for hardware / peripherals and software solutions. And then as we continue to drive and continue to have conversations and ask questions, that's when we start uncovering other needs for the customer. And then that's when they open up their eyes and go, oh, I didn't know Zones could do that.
Mhm.
Again, that's why our account executives are so important in this process to help. We ask a lot of questions as we go through this. What are you doing with that laptop? What are you doing with that printer? What's it hooked up to? Um, how do you secure it? What do you do with your old ones? We have solutions for every single piece of that, all the way through the supply chain.
Oh, that's awesome. So my next question for you kind of piggybacks on that. You kind of talked about the vendor consolidation. Touch on like our partner ecosystem that we work with to kind of support that consolidation with that one touch. And then I kind of want you to touch on why zones, why outside of this consolidation. Kind of being the one-stop shop. What's the Y Zone story? Why would somebody want to work with Zones?
Well, the first question, first answer is, we're top tier corporate partner for Apple, Cisco. We're an integrator with Cisco, Titanium partner with Dell. We're tier one CSP and LSP with Microsoft. We're a premier partner with Lenovo, Zebra, Samsung, Oracle, NetApp. We have over 3,500 different partners that we work with. HP, a platinum partner, APC, Adobe, Oracle. We have them all in our ecosystem that we can continue to drive with, and that's who we partner with. VMware, I mean, all the security partners. But why zones was your second question.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're brand agnostic. If you're a Lenovo house, you're a Dell house, we'll continue. We can work with you on that. We don't build anything. We're brand agnostic. We're here to work with you and the partners that you have. We want to just drive end-to-end solutions, with our supply chain. And our people have a singular mindset. We just have one singular mindset. It's to solve your IT problems. And that's with you, not at you. A lot of partners, a lot of VARs or value-added resellers will do it at you. We do it with you. We're going to bring you along that journey. Instead of telling you what you need, we're going to work with you to work with a solution with our architects, with our team to bring you along that journey instead of telling you what you need. So it's a two-way street, and it's a partnership. I'm going to say that a lot, that it's a partnership between Zones and the customer. We listen, and we want to make sure that all your needs are being met. We also want to let you know that things are going on. We want to be very proactive. What's going on in the industry? We can talk about security all day long. I mean, we could have a 3-hour session this morning just talking about security. What's going on in the world. It scares everybody. But we just want to make sure that we partner with you and we bring you along that journey. And again, our number one asset is our people. Well, we have two number one assets, our people and our customers. We want to make sure that they're both treated number one.
That's great. That was kind of segueing into my next question. I was going to ask you about understanding customers' unique needs before offering a solution. And you mentioned you listen, right? You're not telling them, you're working with them. Do you have examples of some of the things that some of the sellers have done to support their clients?
Absolutely. I'll give you an example. We had a bank, my goodness, talking about security, talking about hardware, software, all one solution. We had a bank that they had a partner with. It was in the Midwest, just a small. They had two branches. They found Zones online. They called us and they needed some printers, some Zebra printers, just off the wall, and they started learning about Zones. We asked them the question, "What are you doing with these printers?" Oh, whatever they were printing with, it was on some bag type things. And then they needed some hardware. And then again, the very next question we talked about security. We did some penetration testing. We did some other assessments for them. And then ended up, this was a 90-day, 120-day journey. And they ended up finding that they weren't up to security standards with the FDIC. That we, by just asking questions and doing some assessments, found some vulnerabilities for them. Again, this just started on a call that a customer called us. They were looking for some printers because their partner was out of them. So we did that, and we continued to go through. Then we found out, oh, what are you doing with your old hardware? They were throwing it in the dumpster. And there's some legal things along about that. So we got our ITAD group on top of that, and we destroyed it. We gave them certificates of destruction at the end, so there's no customer data being thrown in landfills. I mean, it opened up a lot, and they're a huge partner for us. They're a reference for us today because of what we did for them, and we showed them, and we saved them a ton of money. We saved them about between 30 and 35% of cost because how we consolidated everything. And they found out that their security partner wasn't doing what they've asked them to do by these assessments. And anyway, it's just by asking a few questions on just one simple printer sale. And again, a 90 to 120 days out, we have this customer for, I'd like to say we have them for life now because we showed them what we could do for them by just asking questions and not telling them what we need, but just asking the right questions. What are you doing with that printer? Actually started that whole conversation.
I love that. It's about communication. It's about, again, you mentioned it a couple of times, asking questions, right? What is it that they need? What is it that they're trying to accomplish? And that boils down to the sales rep and the sales team building trust, right? So,
Yes.
with that being a key factor, with the relationship with the client, you and I know that Zones offers a wide range of solutions and services at Zones that can help our clients. What are some of the service offerings that our clients may not be aware of, especially in the SMB space that you can offer? That you mentioned some of them earlier, but why don't you go through some of that?
Yeah, a plethora. And again, I want to talk about trust. Again, if a customer, we have to be able to deliver on the initial. I'll go back to that example that we had on that bank in the Midwest. That they have to trust us. If we can't deliver on a simple printer sale, how are they going to trust us on the next step? How are they going to trust us to give us keys to their network, their data center? They just don't. So we have to build trust as we go forward. But things that people don't know, about Zones, service desk or help desk. We have level 0, 1, 2, 3 help desk. We have onshore, offshore, all sorts of different. Nights, evenings, weekends. We can do all sorts. We can cater it to all different solutions for the customer. So they don't have to call their guy, their IT guy, and his vacations or whatever. We have the capability to do that.
And that takes pressure right off of their IT team immediately.
Exactly, because a lot of them aren't set up to do it. And then we make sure that we validate all the calls, we do tickets, and we make sure that as we see problems, as we see patterns, we get them fixed. Security assessments. Like I said, we could talk all day about security. We do a lot of security tests, a lot of security assessments, a lot of penetration testing. We do simulated attacks. How are you ready? Cybersecurity is huge today, and you don't want the criminals to take your business down because we read about it in the news every single day. network modernization. How up to date are you? How fast is your network? Because everything is on the web today, cloud based. How fast are we going back and forth with that? What does your network look like? Migrations, cloud migrations. We just talked about that. We're top tier partners, AWS, Google Cloud, Azure. We do that, all that. Managed services, CSPs, cutting software. We're tier one, level one with Microsoft. We do Office in a box, asset tagging. If you want new hires, we stack laptop in a box with the company logo, cup, shirt, hat, materials, first day materials. We do all that for many customers and ship that out to them. So there's a ton of things at Zones that we do. We have our four core business practices. Cloud and data center, networking, digital workplace, security, and we do it for all SMB, mid market, all the way up to. I know we're talking about SMB here today, but we do it all the way up to our enterprise level customers.
So it's not just core. We do a lot of different types of services and solutions, and it's not just selling a desktop or a printer or and I think part of what this episode hopefully will do is maybe provide some awareness of the breadth of the type of services and solutions that we can offer.
Yeah, you've been here a long time as well. You've been here a lot longer than I have, and you've seen Zones grow. We grew up as pushing boxes as a company. We just sold hardware. We were known as core,
and we are good at that.
That's our core. That's our core ourselves. That's what we're good at. That's how we grew up, and that's how as our company. That's how we started. But everybody, we don't build anything. Anybody can do that. We have to provide service. We have to provide value to the customer as we go forward, and we have to. How does that product working in your environment? And that's what Zones is going after, and that's what Zones is strong at. Is the second phase of after giving you the hardware, now what do you do with it? Yep. That's the services and solutions piece that customers need, and customers are scared to ask the questions because a lot of our SMB or our small medium businesses, they have their guy it's the teacher at the tech school or teacher at at the high school that they know that comes and works on the weekends and nights and keeps their infrastructure going. How secure is that? How who's your help desk? So that's the things that our SMB team can help you with going forward.
Oh, very good. So going into my next question, we've got all these services, obviously supply chain, that's our core, that's our foundation. So how does, and you mentioned that the list of services that we can provide, how does customized services come into play? Like with the bank you mentioned, you noticed the disposition part of it. We'll pull in an ITAD, some of that kind of stuff. How does customization kind of play into, supporting our clients? And then if you have any examples of that type of thing, like maybe it's through our integration labs, that type of stuff.
Well, that's exactly where I was going to go. Every customer is different. A lot of them are the same, but every customer has, something that they need to do just a little bit different. And that's when we get our practice heads, our business unit experts, our solution architects, our inside, our ISAs involved, and we come up with a solution that best fits your needs. So we listen, we build it, we go back and forth, we do some testing, we do some assessments, but we tailor it to your needs, to the customer's needs. It's not just a cookie cutter approach because that doesn't work for every single customer. And I'll go back to this bank, that we've actually duplicated that for some other financial institutions using that as a reference. We're not going to use their name, obviously, but we tell them and we go back. But some of those customers in the financial institutions, smaller ones, don't need all that. Or I want to do this just a little bit different. Here's how my security works. Or I want to integrate it with my purchasing team, my Coupa whatever. I want to integrate it. So there's a lots of little different tweaks that we can do. But we want to make sure we work with you and do it with you, not at you at the customer level. I don't know if I'm answering your question, Tony, but I'm trying to tell you that we can actually tailor it to make sure we're giving you everything that you need, nothing more, but obviously nothing less than what you're asking to do. And we can scale that. There's a lot of things that we do that we can scale, and we start small and then we scale it as the trust builds and as their business builds as well.
Yeah, no, trust, and it's about flexibility, right? Being able to shift and to support, because like you said, every client, every network, every system, every data, it's different from client to client. And how do you customize? How do you make things work within their environment? So
again, we got over 400 engineers, technicians that do this every single day. They're employed by zones, not third party. They're employed by zones that do this every single day, and they've seen a lot of this. And there's thousands and thousands of years of experience with those 400 engineers and architects that walk with the customer through this. And so again, build that trust and show it by grabbing that market share from them.
Yeah, they're an amazing resource for zones and for our clients. So 100%.
I mean, just some numbers for zones. We did we configured over 2 million devices for customers last year. 2 million. We shipped over 3 million individual devices, but we configured 2 million of those. Imaging, asset tagging, whatever, we touched those. So it's not, our SMB business is not small. We have many customers that we're doing this with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we have our technology solution centers, throughout the country to kind of help support geographically too. So no matter where a client is, we have the facilities to support that in any geo, really.
And some of our small businesses actually have, not to get into our global reach right now, but we do this in over 150 countries in the U.S. Or in the U.S. 150 countries in the world. 120 of them that we actually touch, and we use in 30 other countries. We have partners, but for 100, we have offices all over the zones, owned offices all over the world that we do this in. So if London, the Netherlands, Israel, we do this all over the place. So it's just not the U.S., but most of our SMB business is based here in the U.S. But this is a solution that we can offer you throughout the world.
Yeah, it just shows that we're good at what we do. So let's jump into some of our tools, right? So Zones has some tool sets to kind of help support our clients to make life easier for us, for them, to be able to manage things. So what are some of, I'll let you kind of jump into what those tools are, kind of what their functions are, how they support our clients.
Well, we want to make sure that our customers, we call it digital optimization. We want to make sure our customers are on our system so they can actually see where their product is, see where it is. That's the number one question we get after we sell a product, after we place an order for a customer. Where's my product? They can log in. They can log in. We give them a Zones Connect login. It's called Zones Connect. They go in. They see the product, where it is, what the serial number is, when did it ship, when am I expecting it, and then Zones get everywhere. How old is this asset? There's a whole bunch of things that we can do for you, and we can incorporate that into your ServiceNow, your Coupa, your Ariba. We can do all that. We find that, and we put your standards out there. If you continue to order, and you want your team to just order product and hardware as they can, we can put your standards and your pricing out there, so you don't have to call an account executive every time you want to order a product. Just log on to Zones Connect, click on what you want to order, put it in your basket. We can set it up via PO, set it up via credit card. We can set it up so it has to have an approval process. We have all that different plethora of options that we can set up. So your IT, or so the customers' IT people, the procurement people, aren't getting hounded with requests all day. All they have to do is just click on a button to approve it. And then Zones Cloud's a very important one because we're finding many of our customers are doing two different things. They're either overpaying for licenses or they're not licensed enough and they're out of compliance. They have expired licenses or they're using licenses that they haven't paid for, and hence Microsoft audit, Adobe audit, if they get audited, it's going to cost them some money. So Zones Cloud's a very good tool to use that we actually give access to the customers as well. So we can actually manage that, or the customer can manage that. How many licenses we have? How many am I not using? We find that after we install the Zones Cloud tool, that customers have way too many licenses that they're paying for, and we see that as a huge cost savings to the customer, and it's a huge benefit. So there's just two of them that we use: Zones Connect, Zones Cloud, that the customer has access to in our systems, to show the partnership and the synergy we have between us.
Well, I was going to piggyback on the software licensing side of that. I mean, we have licensing specialists as well. There's a lot of benefits that come with some subscriptions or licensing and things, and those specialists can kind of help make sure they take it. Our clients take advantage of those, as well as like when negotiating, like recurring, renewing subscriptions, all that type of stuff. Correct?
And our customers, Microsoft, or I'll just say Microsoft, but licensing is very complex. It changes quarterly. And it's very hard to understand. Let us be that expert for you. We have licensed experts that will do that. Everyone knows that we used to have everyone used to have an enterprise agreement, and enterprise agreements are going on the wayside to a subscription based because it's saving the customer money. And you can change it month to month. You can do it yearly or month to month as as the customer or as the employee count goes up or down, you can adjust that. With an EA agreement, that was very hard to do, and you're stuck with a large bill at the end of the year to true up, or very few times they'll give you money back. But as a subscription service with the CSP program, we're able to do that and save the customer money as their business grows or it decreases. We can work with you on that through our partners, Microsoft, Adobe. All sorts of different ones that we have that with.
Quite a few. So we're coming up on time for the end of the episode. So Dave, I want to give you a chance to give your final thoughts for small, medium-sized businesses. Just give us final thoughts on how we could support them. How they could reach out to our team if they have questions, that type of stuff.
Yeah, again, it's zones.com. We have over 300 sellers here at Zones today, 330 sellers at Zones today, and we're adding more every single day to make sure that we can get our SMB customers. Not all of those sellers are with SMB segments, but we want to make sure. I just want to make sure that we let people know that we're more than just Zones from 1986 when we started. From Feroz, who is still our CEO today. Our founder is still our CEO, which is a great story that we could go into as well. And our MBE status, Minority Business Enterprise, which we didn't touch on either. But it's built on trust. And our number one, I keep saying, our number one asset is our customer and our team member, our account executive. We want to make sure we do it with the customer and make sure that we're bringing them along with us instead of with them. And the resources that we have are second to none, and we'll drive that. We'll drive the ROI for the customer with you and make sure that you see a return on investment. Because if we can't save you money, if we cannot become a great value partner, that's our 5-star service promise to you.
No, thank you. So this brings us to the end of today's conversation. Huge thank you to you, Dave, for taking the time to share with us today, especially on your expertise on how SMBs can simplify IT and leverage the right solutions for growth. If you're an SMB looking for a strategic IT partner, we're here to help. Reach out to Dave and his team. whether it's hardware, cloud solutions, security, licensing, managed services, core. Yeah, we'd love to continue the conversation. So feel free to drop your questions and comments into the chat. Reach out to us directly through the website. There's connect with us links on the website and get you in touch with our sellers. I hope you found today's discussion valuable. Don't forget to follow Zones on social for more insights on IT solutions for businesses of all sizes, not just SMB. Thanks again for joining us, and we will see you next time on LinkedIn Live.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Tony.
Thank you.